welcome you all to this session, which is powered by University of Arizona and Great Learning on how to fund your MS in US, master's degree in US. Many of you are aspiring for a rewarding master's degree in US, and we are well aware at Great Learning that the kind of challenges that one faces in order to pursue this aspiration of and yours, and the journey could be really excruciating at times if you do not have enough guidance. So the objective of this session is actually to share some fruitful information for you to help you in the challenges which are often faced by you, and make you also aware of what is available in the market and the new formats of learning. A little bit about University of Arizona. We have, very eminent speakers in this session. I will be introducing you to our speakers also just in a minute. So what we will be discussing about today, to brief you on the agenda part, we will certainly, like I said, we'll be discussing the common challenges, how we can resolve those challenges, what are the rewarding degree programs which ensures a good career opportunity post a degree program also in the US and globally. We will also be talking about the kind of financial assistance which can be availed by aspirants such as yourself. And then we will also be taking a lot of questions from you towards the end of this session. But like I said, you don't have to wait till the end of this section. You can start pouring in your questions in the Q&A chat box. So without further ado, I can see that we have a poll. And it's a very relevant question that says, why do you want to study in US? So like I said in the beginning, let's keep the session as interactive as possible. Please share more about you. What are your aspirations and why? What is exactly your motivation to move to US? And then we will be able to help you with customized solutions based on your answers and the more we know about you. All right. Let's get started. So amongst the eminent speakers that we have got today, we have Mr. Aditya Kalyan Sundaram, who is the General Manager at Great Learning. He takes care of international degree programs at Great Learning. He himself is an alumni of many top institutions actually across the world. He has done his MBA from INSEAD. He comes from Columbia University. He did his master's degree over there. And also he is an alumni from McGill University. He is also a McKinsey consultant. He has helped multiple Indian startups as a venture capitalist. He has fueled quite a few dreams over there. So any of you who are entrepreneurs yourself are having any questions, how these master's degrees are going to help you in your entrepreneurial dream, please feel free to bother Aditya with those questions in the later part of this session. And Aditya has also worked with many Indian startups, and he is currently leading international degree programs, and he works with universities like Northwestern University. He also handles operations of University of Arizona degree programs that we have got at Great Learning. So he will be helping us with a lot of university related information, with a lot of rewarding degree programs related information in the session today.
Thank you so much for the warm introduction, Shweta.
Thank you, Aditya. We also have Mr. Aman Jain, who is basically a co-founder and CMO at Gyanthan. If you guys do not know what Gyanthan is one of the largest education loan marketplaces in India. They have been helping multiple students across India getting education loans to help pursue their dreams of studying abroad for a very long time. Mr. Aman is also an alumni of IIT Kanpur, and he heads marketing and operations team at Gyanthan. Welcome, Mr. Aman. And then I am there. My name is Shweta Gupta. I'm an assistant manager at Great Learning. I also take care of international degree programs along with Aditya. I have been a study abroad professional for some time. I have worked with top universities from Australia as well as in US. I also take care of partnerships with top universities. So that is why I asked if you are looking for specific programs. So what we do at Great Learning is we bring in rewarding degree programs, top degree programs from global universities with better accessibility and affordability for all the deserving students, India and international. So please let us know more about yourself, and we will definitely try our best to get in touch with the universities that you are looking for and bring in those programs on our platform. Right. So like I said in the beginning of this session, this session is very much focused on, study abroad aspirants and the kind of challenges that they face in their journey. These are some of the very common challenges, which I'm sure you are all very much exposed to. First and foremost, no-brainer, high tuition fees when we are looking for any top universities across the globe and not just US. You would always face that these universities, they obviously charge you for a 2-year full-time program, somewhere around 50-60 lakhs, no less than that. And then you will have to obviously add the cost of living expenses to your entire budget, right? So because when you're going to be, let's take an example of US for that matter, when you are going to be in US for 2 years, your entire living expenses come around to be 36 or 40,000 US dollars, right? So that is another cost that either you will have to include it in the education loan that you are taking up. Of course, you can always argue that when I'm in the US, I'm going to be working over there. But we all know that the part-time wages that you get in any abroad country for that matter are only enough for you to sustain a normal life, but can never really help you in fully maintaining your living expenses, managing your living expenses in the US, right? So high tuition fees added with living expenses are always a challenge. Of course, most of the students, they use education loans to furnish these expenses, but then the higher the expenses is, the higher is education loan going to be, and the longer it is going to take for you to repay that education loan, right? So it's always an ideal situation if we can minimize the expense and maximize the outcome of the program, and we are going to talk about it. There are ways to do that, so let's stay tuned. Another challenge is long application process. Many of you are already looking for universities. You must be already aware that there are multiple exams that you got to write. You got to write GRE or GMAT. Of course, it's not a very straightforward process. First, you will have to prepare for these exams. You'll have to book the exams. That also incurs cost. You will have to also write English proficiency tests. That also incurs cost, and preparation cost is separate. And then, of course, it all takes your time as well. So there is an opportunity cost also over there. So, and in addition to that, you obviously have to work on your SOPs. You will have to work on your LORs. Many a time students take help of, external education agents who help you with the entire process. But to be honest, that also involves cost. There is a service charge by these education agents, right? So for the entire process. So it is all additional for you. We are all aware that right now the waiting period at the US Embassy is excruciating, absolutely. Students have been waiting for months together to block a visa appointment. And many of them, I have heard, have had to defer their admissions because they couldn't really get the visa appointment. So that's also that could be very disappointing, and will definitely deviate all your plans that you must have made. That's another challenge most of the students are facing, especially with USA and also to some extent with Canada. Then there is an opportunity cost. Like I mentioned earlier, that when you are going to be in the US, I'm taking US as an example, but that's actually holds true for any other country as well. When you're going to be there for 2 years, full-time master's degree, although you would be working part-time, but then that's not going to gain you relevant experience most of the times, and that's obviously not going to gain you the salary. So you have to pay an opportunity cost of 2 years as well while you are learning in the US, right? So these are some of the common challenges. But in addition to these challenges, if something else comes to your mind, please share it with us in the chat box, and we will try to address that as well. Now, before I start answering those challenges, what kind of solution we have got for you, which can make your entire process of learning abroad easier, I'd like to request Mr. Aditya to share some information with us on, in-demand master's degree programs available today, and then which students will be looking forward to for maybe a high return on their investment, or an assured career growth and opportunity in the US and globally. In addition to this, I would also like to request Aditya to please give us an overview of University of Arizona as well, what it stands for. Over to you, Aditya. Thank you.
Perfect. Thanks for that, Shweta. It's great to see such excellent turnout, by the way. I know it's New Year in many parts of India today. Happy New Year to all of you who might be celebrating today. I can just walk you through briefly one of the programs which we offer. As Shweta mentioned, I'll tell you more about the University of Arizona. And I think most relevant to everyone who is attending here, I'll be able to talk you through the job opportunities that one might be able to see in data science and machine learning. I know in the poll that we conducted at the very start of the webinar, it seems like career outcomes are really top of everyone's mind over here. So it'll be my pleasure to really at least give you my take on how things are going to play out in the coming few years. So let's get into it. And look, I know we already have a pretty, illustrious audience right now, people who are well educated, well qualified. But I am going to start from the very basics. So please bear with me. I know a lot of you will know all of this already. But for the people who kind of may not be so familiar with machine learning, let's just talk a little bit about the field itself. So what is machine learning? Now, the kind of technical definition is that machine learning helps applications become more accurate at predicting outcomes without being explicitly programmed. And let's break down a few of the phrases here. I think predicting outcomes is really at the core of every single thing that we do in a business context, right? Kind of literally every decision that is made in a business is basically kind of in some way an attempt to predict what the future outcomes are, right? And similarly, kind of this has really reached a level where even very seemingly trivial applications of it are present in a day-to-day basis. For example, I know that all of you probably watch Netflix and YouTube. Now, an outcome that we would want to predict if we worked at Netflix or YouTube is what video can I show you next to ensure that you spend more time on the platform, therefore that you can consume more ads, and therefore that the platform can make more money, right? Similarly, I think recommendation engines are really the most, probably the single biggest business application right now. I have seen studies that just kind of recommendation engines on Amazon would be one of the big businesses in the world if it was measured on a standalone basis. That is how much revenue can be generated out of getting your recommendation engines right. But of course, there are other fields as well. Fraud detection, as all of you can imagine, is huge. I think, especially in financial services, figuring out what are legitimate and what are fraudulent transactions. Spam filtering, I'm sure all of you have seen this firsthand. You all have inboxes with spam filters and all of that. That's a very big, that's basically Google's algorithm predicting what is likely to be useful to you and what's likely to be unwanted spam. Now, malware threat detection, all of you know about cybersecurity, which is increasingly emerging field right now. Business process automation is something that essentially helps all of us become more efficient at our jobs, right? Basically kind of helping us, helping the machines take care of redundant and basically time-consuming process steps so that we can all use our brains kind of doing higher order, more higher value work in the workplace. And of course, predictive maintenance. I'm sure all of you can imagine large infrastructure projects or airlines, transportation, all of that have a lot of this. But basically, I think it's less about listing out every single use case. And the point I'm really trying to make here is that data science and machine learning are basically kind of the growth engines of every single business in the world right now. Every single industry is being kind of affected by these. And that's why I think it's super important to know about these fields and hopefully upskill yourselves in these fields. So let's talk about specifically the degree that we're talking about today, which is a master's in information science. Now, why would anyone want to study information science? I think it's a good question, a fair question, because all of you kind of are qualified individuals who have probably many different, options of what you might be able to study in the future. So I'll give you my take on this. If you look at any single company, analytics projects, as I described in the last slide, are really kind of what's driving progress going forward. Now, analytics, though, has a long life cycle for a project to actually be implemented. You start at the very beginning with collecting data, right? All of you would know that by now. Data has to be collected, it has to be stored in a usable format, and it has to be kind of pre-processed in certain ways, right? It has to be cleaned up, erroneous entries have to be taken out, things like that. So that comes at the very beginning of any data project. The actual, what do you say, data collection and data storage and data pre-processing. Those are typically what you would call data engineering. And those are kind of job roles, which in larger companies are handled by very specialized data engineering teams. I think in mid to smaller size companies and in startups and places like that, a data engineer, kind of a data scientist and an ML engineer would be expected to chip in and handle the data engineering part of it as well. Now, once you have your data in that usable format, what happens next? You start actually kind of slicing and dicing it and kind of building more predictive models out of it. That is where you kind of look for the insights that you are seeing. For example, on Amazon, if you see that someone has bought a book on astrophysics, you might also find that they would be interested in, for example, another book in astrophysics, right? Those are the kind of insights that you would be able to generate out of huge, large data sets. And I think when we think of data science, that is typically kind of what you say, the core of it that people imagine, using mathematics and statistical techniques to derive insights into large data sets. And that is kind of the classic role of a data scientist, and of course, assisted by a data analyst. And now what happens once you've generated all of these insights and you think they'll be useful in kind of driving business outcomes in your company and say increasing revenue or in decreasing costs? What happens next? Then, of course, these models that you've built actually need to be deployed and used in the real world, right? Like it's no good just kind of, as I said, analyzing that person who buys book A on Amazon is also likely to buy book B. Now you need to actually kind of go and use that algorithm in the real world so that you can start recommending book B to people who have bought book A. And the way to do that is basically where this is where an ML engineer takes over. And an ML engineer basically takes the work of the data scientist and scales it across the entire company to ensure that it's actually kind of done in a usable format. So that is basically the life cycle of any analytics project in a company. You have data engineers, you have data scientists, and you have ML engineers all working hand in hand. And why we really like this program, why we're very bullish about doing an MS in information science, is that this program really equips you to play a role in basically all three steps of the life cycle. You learn kind of some of the fundamentals of data engineering. Of course, you learn the statistical and mathematical techniques between data science. And then you learn kind of all the computational and computer kind of techniques, basically how to use and build these models in an ML engineering context. So next slide, please, Shweta. So that's the program that we have at hand, a Master of Science in Information Science and Machine Learning. Now, this is a 2-year-long program. It is in what's called the hybrid format that Shweta touched upon earlier, where you do your first year online and your second year on campus in Arizona. That has a host of benefits. I think Shweta has covered those already, so I won't go into those. But I think it's very, very important to talk about what happens once you've completed this degree. I think ML and data science are probably the fastest growing job sectors in the USA right now. The last time we did this study, we found more than 300,000 job vacancies in the US. And of course, all of them are kind of very, what you say, highly skilled and highly paid roles. All of you, of course, would have witnessed the AI revolution that is unfolding, right? Kind of all of this generative AI, chat GPT, and all of that. But basically, AI is really built on a foundation of data. So what you would find is that all of the large companies, your Google and Microsoft and all, you might see headlines that they're laying off people, but you have to look at what teams are being laid off and what teams are being expanded. I think many of the core business functions like sales and operations might be being downsized at the moment, but data science and AI teams are only being scaled up at the moment because all these companies are now in an arms race to capture as much value as possible out of AI. So I think your career would be in very safe hands if you were to pursue this degree. And you'd be looking at job roles, as I mentioned earlier, as a data scientist, as a machine learning engineer, as a computer scientist, and of course, a bunch of other things which are related in that field. And I also touched upon the fact that these are all very highly paid, very lucrative fields, right? I think if you look at all of the roles that we've listed on this slide right here, you are looking at salaries. I think the very lowest salary here is $84,000, which is around 75 lakhs. and it goes all the way up to $220,000, which is, I think, around 1.8 crores or so. So these are clearly kind of some of the most in-demand fields right now. Companies are ready to spend any amount of money to secure the best talent in these fields at the moment. And I think all of you would kind of boost your earning potential significantly in the USA if this is kind of the path that you choose to pursue when you look at your education going forward. So let's also get to the University of Arizona. This is also a super kind of a very well-known, very established university. In fact, it's been around for almost 140 years at the moment. In 2020, we were talking about a university with over $2 billion in revenue. And we're talking about just faculty of more than 3,000 members. If you look at the student body, there are around almost 50,000 students at the moment. I think around 75 to 80% of those are undergraduates, and the remainder are graduate students. Now you'd see a number here also that 6.5% of the student body is international students. That itself is a huge number, but what you should also keep in mind is at master's degree level, kind of this skew tilts a lot higher right now. I'd say probably anywhere upwards of 20, 30% of people are international students. So you'd be able to find many kind of like-minded people from all corners of the world studying alongside you. Some quick statistics I need to point out are that I think 9 out of 10 people, alumni, have told us that the education that they pursued was absolutely worth the money that was paid. In fact, 2 in 3 say that they have their ideal job. I find this statistic very striking because, I mean, if you go out and talk to 10 people on the road, maybe 1 in 10 would say they have their ideal job. So 2 in 3 is kind of really an excellent statistic there. And 9 out of 10 are saying that they are using the skills that they acquired. Next slide, Shweta. Some quick kind of what you say accolades that this university has earned. We're talking about a top 50 public university over there. You can imagine there are kind of so many universities in the USA. Making it the top 50 public universities is absolutely an excellent feat. And we're talking about a top 100 global university. This is a ranking by US News, who are really an authority in the field. Globally, I can't even imagine how many universities there are, tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands. To get into the top 100 is kind of really kind of something that we are extremely proud to be working alongside the University of Arizona. And I think what that means is that if you are kind of at these levels of a top 100 global university, employers tend to take you very seriously to begin with, right? I talked about high paying machine learning jobs in kind of California companies and all of that. And you have to kind of be aware that practically every single California tech giant hires in large numbers from the University of Arizona simply because it's so selective and it's so prestigious. So you really would be putting your education in the safest possible hands. A few other quick statistics that we're very proud of that we like to point out. Of course, a top 1% university in the world, a top 100 global university, and it's ranked 20th for public research in the USA. And I think the way they've been managed to achieve, they have achieved this is that if all of you know NASA, the space agency out there, for example, the University of Arizona is one of their top collaborators. Many of the space missions that you would see in the news right now, a lot of the groundwork has been prepared at the University of Arizona. And naturally, to be able to pull that off, you need really the highest quality faculty and researchers, right? So this is the caliber of people who would be present on campus at the University of Arizona. So kind of, I could not be more confident that this is an outstanding institution that all of you should kind of be considering, and kind of hopefully as many of you as possible would secure admission to this university and could start your learning, because it really would change the trajectory of your life. Anything more, Shweta?
Thank you so much, Aditya, for all those insights. And now I believe all our learners would be having a good brief about University of Arizona and all the rankings and the recognitions that university has gained over many years. Now, what Aditya talked about is a very high rewarding career, a career like machine learning engineer or data scientist or something related to AI or information research scientist, all of that, what would be the ideal situation for me? Ideal situation for me is to land one of these high paying jobs in the US by studying from a top university, top 100 universities or top 50 public research institutions in the world, and then in addition to that, spend as little as possible so that my return on my investment is as high as possible. This is the ideal scenario for me. And the program that we have from University of Arizona fulfills all these criteria. Let me quickly tell you about the program that we have got, as Aditya briefly touched upon. This is Masters in Information Science with a focus on machine learning. And we have this program available in a hybrid format as well. So we have this program available in 3 different formats, but today, because we are talking a lot about the cost, about the ROI, so let's talk about the most efficient format, which is basically hybrid format. Now, what's the definition of hybrid format? Hybrid, it's still a 2 years master's degree, right, from University of Arizona, but it is divided between your, so you do your first year online, and then you move to US, to Arizona campus, to University of Arizona campus to pursue your second year. So the entire program has about 30 credit points, which are equally divided between the first year and the second year. So first year, you do your 15 credit points online from wherever you are. If you are a working professional, you do not even have to quit your job. So you remember we were talking about the opportunity cost in the beginning. So here you minimize the opportunity cost for the first year completely. You earn and you learn at the same time. If you are a fresher, you have all the opportunity and freedom to get a job, because this 1 year of experience for you is going to be so handy when you are finishing your master's degree program in the US and you are in the job market when you're competing with many others, right? So this experience is gonna make a lot of difference, right? Plus all the money that you are earning in the first year, you will be able to use it in the second year when you are in the US, and you will have to incur 1 year of living expenses, correct? So your journey, I believe the screen, the diagram that we have got on our screen, that makes it quite clear. In case you have more questions on the entire journey part, you can always reach out to our admissions team and we will be happy to help you. Let's move forward. So the advantage of this hybrid format, like I was telling you, all the challenges that we talked about in the beginning of this session, it answers many of those challenges, if not all. First and foremost, we talked about high tuition fees. Now, this program, this format is highly cost effective. How it is cost effective? Let me also show you another table. So like I was telling you, and many of you are already researching for full-time degree programs from top universities, you would agree with me that many a times the tuition fees for all these top universities is about 55,000 to 60,000 US dollars, comes about 50-60 lakhs again, right? In Indian rupees, if I have to say. Whereas its hybrid program is priced at, the tuition fee for the entire program, that is 2 years master's degree program, is 34,000 US dollars. In addition to that, like I just showed you the journey, that the first year happens online, where you can also earn, be in a job, can do it from anywhere in the world. You will be saving a lot on the first year of living expenses also, because you will be doing it online, and you're going to be in US as a student for 1 year. So your living expenses are also cut down to half, from 2 years to 1 year, right? In addition to that, in the first year, there is no opportunity cost. You can work and earn. So that is also subtracted from the total cost that you would be incurring on the program. In total, you will be spending somewhere around 37,000 on the program and your living expenses. And we have, let me tell you that we have considered the opportunity cost over here, the earnings that you would be having in the first year. If you will have to do this comparison in Indian rupees, I would say you would be saving more than 55 lakhs on the same quality of the education. You will become alumni of a top university. You will be getting the job opportunities in the US. The outcome of the program is not going to be compromised anywhere. And let me also tell you, this is the most common question that we get from the students. Is it going to be a hybrid degree? The answer is no, it's not a hybrid degree. It's a hybrid format. So what about the degree? The degree that you get at the end of this program is exactly the same that you would get if you're going to University of Arizona for a 2-year full-time on-campus program. The degree does not mention the format at all. The degree is exactly the same, like I mentioned, and which is why when you are going for the job interviews in the US, when you're being considered by the organizations, there's not going to be any difference between you and the other student who must have gone to the University of Arizona on day one itself. So there is no compromise on the outcome of the program. There is only the difference in the investment in terms of money and time that you're making in the beginning. So remember, we talked about return on investment. That makes it very, very high. Cost effective, we talked about it. Return on investment, we obviously talked about it. All the high paying jobs. This is a degree program in machine learning, which is like Aditya mentioned, and he gave us some stats also on the salaries that people are getting as we speak in the US and globally. The salaries are really, really high. The standard of living in the US is top notch. So your entire return on your investment, including your time, is going to be super high. The application process is also very, very easy. Again, we talked about GRE, GMAT, TOEFL, IELTS, all those exams in the beginning. All that is not required for applying into this program. You may ask me then how the university is going to assess my candidature. So by the way, GRE, let me tell you, is being dropped by many top universities. That's one reason. And University of Arizona have their own, their own method of assessing your candidature based on the SOP that you would be writing, based on the LORs that you would be submitting, based on your entire transcripts and your CV and everything else. So they have waived off IELTS or TOEFL requirement for Indian students. For other nationalities, you may still require English proficiency test score. But if you are an Indian national, you have studied over here in India, you don't need GRE, you don't need TOEFL, you don't need IELTS, and there is no application fees as well. In addition to that, the application process is made easier by Great Learning's admissions team assistance. We have a expert counselor group who would be reaching out to you, who would be sitting with you, helping you in filing the application from end to end. Also, this program helps you make the most of your time. So like I said, in the first year, you have the opportunity to gain 1 year of work experience before you go to US. If you're already a working professional, you will have to leave your job 1 year down the line and not immediately disrupt your lives, right? So I believe that's a game changer altogether over here. We talked about this. So in brief, the salient features of this Master's in Information Science Machine Learning degree program from University of Arizona in a hybrid format are these. First of all, it's a rewarding master's degree from a top US university. We talked about it enough. The curriculum is extremely latest. You can go to our program page on Great Learning Study Abroad, and you will be able to see the curriculum details. You will be able to see how all the latest and in-demand industry-relevant tools and technologies are part of this program. It has a huge focus on artificial intelligence, natural language processing, neural networks, and it tops up with the capstone project. So capstone project is something which is a real-time problem scenario which is given to you at the end of the program in your last semester, and that makes you extremely employable. When you mention about capstone project in your resume for the employers, right? In addition to this program does make you eligible for a 3-year for up to 3 years of STEM OPT. This is a STEM degree program. What is OPT? OPT is basically post-study work visa, which is what most of you are looking for, I assume. The rule for OPT is, if you look up, it's basically you need to spend 2 consecutive semesters in the US campus, right? So either fall followed by spring or spring followed by fall, right? In this program, you are doing your second entire year on the campus, which means you are doing minimum of 2 semesters on the campus, which makes you eligible for OPT. In case you have more questions around OPT, please reach out to us and we shall be able to help you more. I already mentioned there is no GRE requirement, no TOEFL requirement, no application fees as well. So these are some of the features of this hybrid format. Now, all of us are looking for the career outcome. Okay, I'm okay. I will be spending less, spending more, all right. But what happens once I finish the program? Aditya has already given us an overview of the kind of jobs that we will be eligible for, we will be able to sit in interviews for. He also briefly mentioned the kind of recruiters that University of Arizona works with. Now, let me take you a little bit more into details of this. Although you will be studying this program in a hybrid format, first year online and second year on the campus, that doesn't mean that you will be not given all the placement assistance which is offered by the University of Arizona. You will be eligible for all that assistance. Let me tell you what kind of career assistance University of Arizona offers. Actually, they offer career assistance in a very elaborate manner at multiple levels. They have some of these portals available: Bear Down Network, Life Lab, Wildcat Mentor Society, and also Handshake Platform. These are different portals that you will have access to from the day one, okay, even when you are in the online component of the program. These are all digital networks. These are basically alumni networks. You will be able to get in touch with fellow students and alumni who must have passed out from University of Arizona, might have treaded the same path that you are coming from. You will be able to gain a lot of insights. What kind of electives should I be choosing to make the most of this journey? A lot more questions like that. They also post a lot about the job opportunities in the companies that they are working in. So that's an assistance. You will also be getting access to the mentor network for a lot of guidance in the future. There is a portal called Life Lab, which is basically to help you prepare for the job market, to help you prepare with right resume, to help you prepare with interviews in different formats, digital format, in-person format, to help you prepare a very solid LinkedIn profile, which is going to be very instrumental when you are looking for jobs in the market, right? And then there is a Handshake platform, which is basically a job portal where all the on-campus jobs, the part-time jobs are also going to be listed. And since the day one, you would be able to look at them, prepare yourself for that, apply for those. And there are also obviously going to be the full-time jobs post your degree program that you can apply for. In addition to all of this, let me also tell you that there are career fairs, in-person career fairs, which are conducted by University of Arizona on the campus, and you will be able to participate in all of them when you are on the campus in the second year. They have top companies as their regular recruiters. I'm talking about organizations such as Boeing. I'm talking about Vanguard, American Express, Goldman Sachs, and all the F and MAN companies that you can think of. They are all the visitors at the career fairs that we are talking about, and you will be able to secure an interview with any one of these post-degree programs. So the outcome, career outcome post this program is very certain. The employability rate at University of Arizona is 92%, which is extremely impressive, let me tell you that. So this program, Masters in Information Science Machine Learning, like I mentioned earlier, the total tuition fees for the hybrid format is about $34,000 US. This is the tuition fee, guys, plus 1 year of living expense only. And there are multiple payment plans available. And we have an upcoming intake, which is going to be July, August 2023, and the applications are open for it. Please reach out to us, to our counselors. You can find their contact details in the chat box. And we will be able to help you, guide you with the entire detail, if you are eligible or not, how should you be applying, what kind of financial assistance you can get. Now that we are talking about financial assistance, let me quickly give you the fee breakup, and then we will move to how you can manage this fee using education loans with Gyanthan's team's helps. So I mentioned that the total tuition fee is $34,000 US, and it's divided into first year and second year. So first year fees is going to be $10,500 US, which is further broken down into admission fee of $1,000 US, which you pay to block your seat in the program, and rest of it is $9,500 US, which you will pay over the first year. Now, to pay this $9,500, you will have two options. One is you can make the lump sum payment of $9,500 US. In case you decide to do that, you secure yourself a scholarship of $1,000, which means you will not pay $9,500, you will only pay $8,500 US. All right. In case you don't want to make the entire payment all at once, you can choose the flexible payment plan as well, where you can pay $9,500 over the first year in 3 smaller installments. All right. When it comes to the second year fee, which is rest of the $34,000, which is basically $24,000, you will be paying it at the university and in a semester-wise format, because by the time, obviously, you will be on the university campus. Now that we are talking so much about finance and fee and all of that, I'd like to invite Mr. Aman, if he's already here, to help us with the kind of options available at Gyanthan, which can help our aspiring students, in securing a loan and pursue their dreams, please.
Hi. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, Aman, you're very much audible. Hi, welcome.
Hi, Shweta. Thanks for inviting me and letting me talk about finances. So I'm going to share my screen and start, and we'll try to finish as early as I can on the topic. First of all, I would like to start with a quick introduction of Gyandhan. So those of you who haven't heard of us or hearing about us for the first time, uh, Gyandhan is India's first education financing marketplace. So primarily, we are only education loan focused company, and that too primarily operating abroad education loans. So all of our loans, or entire this 5,000 crores in disbursement and 15,000 students, we have helped securing a loan for abroad education. So when you are getting an admission to study abroad, Gyandhan is a place where you can come and talk about loans, understand the lending options, and understand the different loan products, their pros and cons, and we help you with the entire process end to end. Moving ahead, I'll be quickly talking about why we think education loans are better, but shouldn't be the first choice as well. So primarily, your first choice of financing should be scholarships. So the first thing you should try that, okay, hey, can you get in scholarship? If not the entire tuition fee, a part of it, $5,000, $10,000, or something like that, I'm sure Great Learning team will help you out in getting these scholarships. But apart from that, when you move abroad, there's this concept of part-time jobs and assistantship, where you work there, you are allowed to work for 20 hours a week, primarily earning minimum $10 per hour, so $200 per week. That means in a year, assuming 40 weeks you work, then you will be able to earn $8,000, which is almost 1/3 of your education you can cover from the part-time jobs and assistantship. Only thing is that you have to plan accordingly. Then comes the education loan, and there's a reason why we rank education loan above self-funding, and the reasons are this. And primary reason is the tax saving. So when you take education loan, specifically for abroad education, there are two tax savings that you can do. The first is that the interest that you or your co-applicant is paying, let's say your parents are paying to the bank, that interest become not taxable. So for example, if you're taking a loan of 30 lakh rupees, and let's say you are paying 3 lakh rupees interest every year. So down on that 3 lakh rupees, you're not supposed to pay tax to the government. That means, let's say if your father, mother in the 30% tax slab, then you are able to save 30% of this 3 lakh rupees, which comes approximately to 1 lakh rupee. So you can save 1/3 of the interest cost. So your effective interest rate is lower. On the other hand, if you don't take an education loan, and when you try to send money abroad, and this is as per the latest budget, there is a tax deduction at source, or tax collection at source of 20%. So let's say if you are planning to send 20 lakh rupees abroad, the government will deduct 4 lakh rupees here in India. Now you can claim that back, right, when you file the tax returns, if your taxable income is not that much. But that can create liquidity issues, right? If you want to send 20 lakh rupees abroad, then you need to send 25 lakh rupees. So that even if the bank, if the government is deducting 20 lakh rupees at, 20% at their end, still 80% goes away. But if you take an education loan, that is not the case. In education loans, you just have to pay 0.5% at TDS. So now you can understand why education loans are better as compared to self-funding, right? Apart from that, there are other benefits of the education loan, like your personal savings are all remains intact for any rainy day. Education loan covers wide range of expenses. It can cover your tuition fee, living expenses, flight tickets, book, laptop, anything, any education related expense. And one good thing about education loan is that your majority of the repayment is done after your graduation. So during the study period, and especially if you take secured loans, at times you don't have to pay anything, and your repayment starts primarily after you graduate, right? And this is why the education loans are better as compared to self-funding. In fact, many celebrities, they apply for education loan for their children because of this tax benefit. Their wealth managers or their CAs recommend that okay, hey, you should apply for the education loan to save taxes, right? Because for them the taxes are even higher if they are in the HNI bracket, that they have to pay 38% or so, and thus tax savings become more beneficial for them as well. Now there are typically two kinds of loan. There is a secured loan, another is the unsecured loan. As the name suggests, the secured loans are the loan against collateral, where you pledge something, tangible collateral to get the loan. Whereas in unsecured loan, you get the loan primarily basis your co-applicant income, college course you are going to, your GRE, GMAT, IELTS scores, and the country you are going to. Typically, secured loans interest rate are lower as compared to unsecured loan, as you can guess, because secured loans, the risk for the bank is less. So if the risk for the bank is less, then they charge a lower rate of interest compared to an unsecured loan. And that's what we say to this people, that okay, go for a secured education loan wherever available as compared to unsecured loan. In fact, when people contact us, we ask them that okay, do you have the property? If not, even though if you are eligible for an unsecured loan, can you check with your uncle, aunt, or anybody in the family who can give you the property? If they can, then it is definitely better to apply for a secured loan as compared to insecure loan, because rate of interest is lower, chances of approval is fast higher, processing fee will be lower, and you also get an option where you are not supposed to pay anything while you study. So your repayment starts after you graduate, and thus secured loans are a obvious choice as compared to unsecured loans. I also want to mention that all the this recommendation, this help, this consultation that we do it free of cost for the students. So you don't have to pay anything extra to us to get these recommendations, and we give obviously case level recommendations. At the back end, we work with 13 plus lenders. So when you check with us, we are telling you that okay, hey, from out of these 13 lenders, which is the best, and these 13 lenders are the primary lender which are giving abroad education loans. So when you're coming to Gyanthan, it means that all the background research, which product is better, which product is not, what are the pros and cons, everything is done by us, and all you have to do is tell us your profile, and accordingly we help you getting the loan. In fact, at times when we are the ones who comes up with innovative products as well. So like, for example, this particular program by Great Learning, where 1 year you are doing in India, 1 year you are doing abroad. Typically, these loans are not doable by the normal banks, and we coordinated with obviously the Great Learning and the lenders, and came up with a product specifically for this program. So this loan which is available with us for this program is only available to us. If you go directly to the lenders, they might say that okay, hey, we don't do such loans, we don't recognize any online education, and thus Gyanthan is an obvious choice for you. So talking about product details, so as I mentioned that there are two kinds of loan. One is secured loan, other is unsecured loan. The secured loan, you can get up to 80% of the full payment. So whatever be your total cost, including living expenses, you can include anything, travel, laptop, food, rail pass, anything that you want to get involved. And that can be financed as long as your property value is enough. Let's say if you are looking for a 30 lakh rupee loan, then the minimum your property value should be 35 lakh rupees, right? Whereas an unsecured loan, you can get up to 35 lakh rupees. That is the upper cap of an unsecured loan. You can see the rate of interest. The secured loan is lower as compared to the unsecured loan. And this rate of interest is primarily for this program, this hybrid program. As I mentioned that this is a specific product that we created primarily for this program, and negotiated a deal with the bank and a lender that, okay, this is the use case and we want students to fund through Gyanthan for these programs. Apart from that, the other details that you can note is processing fee, 2% of the loan amount. So that's something that the bank charges. As I mentioned, Gyanthan services are completely free of cost. The loan tenure is up to 10 years. Margin money is 0%. Eligibility criteria basis the co-applicant salary. So just to give you a sense, if you're looking for a 35 lakh rupee loan, for example, then your co-applicant salary should be somewhere around 55,000 per month. So that's something that you can keep in mind, and you can extrapolate this depending on your situation. Even if there is a slightly less income, you try to get the exceptions and get the approval done as well. So that's the product details. Why you should apply for an education loan with Gyandan. As I mentioned, that we are the only player that offers education loan for such hybrid programs in association with players like Great Learning. You get a personalized education loan counselor who understand your requirement. Help you that okay, hey, for according to your profile, this is the best option for you. Not only that, we also help you in the documentation, so you don't have to go anywhere. We either you will upload the documents on our website, and an entire process will be done online through our website, or your documents will be picked up by our representative from your home if required. Lower interest rate for this program and highest loan amount, quicker process, better chances of approval, and if needed, we can do the pre-visa disbursement as well. So you can, if you want to contact us, you can write us on contact@gyandan.com. You can also follow us on YouTube, or you can let Great Learning team know that you are looking for an education loan whenever you receive an admit, and they will connect you with us. So yeah, that's a brief from my side. Would love to hear any questions that you have.
Thank you so much, Aman. That was a really, really detailed overview of what kind of education loans are available specifically for hybrid. And let me also tell our learners over here, in case you are looking for a full-time program also from University of Arizona, any program, we are there to help you. And we will be able to put you in touch with Gyandhan to avail loan options for those programs also, not just hybrid. We will be able to help you expedite your entire loan process in case your intake is just coming up. So once again, thank you so much, Aman, for being here, and hopefully there will be a few more questions for you. I'm gonna go back to my screen, please.
Sure.
Yes. A few more things, and then we will be taking up questions. Like I said earlier, we talked about the program fee breakup specifically for hybrid. In addition to all of this, you get great learning advantage if you apply via us, either for the hybrid program. In hybrid program, anyway, we are the official partners with University of Arizona. And even if you're looking for full-time programs at University of Arizona, we will be able to ease out the process for you so much without charging anything extra. So reach out to us. And what kind of assistance do we actually offer? When you talk about master's degree abroad, it's not there is a process, and there is time involved, there is energy, and there is expertise involved. So because we have an expert counseling team, we know how these applications should be filled. We will be able to help you review your SOPs. We'll give you feedback in case there are any red flags in your SOP. We will be able to raise it for you, right? We will be able to, our counselor literally sit with the learners over a Zoom meeting or a Google Meet meeting specifically for hybrid program, and help them fill up the entire application step by step. All right. In addition to that, once you are in the program, you got in the offer letter from the university, we also help you with getting expedited offer letters from the university, even during the heavy workload at the university's admissions team end. We also help you once you're in the program with your I-20 process, which is an important process when you're applying for visa, right? So to get your financials in place and then apply for your I-20 at the university, get it within time. We also help you prepare for the visa. We guide you on how to book your slot for the visa. How do you fill a visa form? After that, you need to go for the interview, and you need to have some preparation for it, which is why many people just go without really preparing, and then their visa gets rejected. Not only they lose their money, the opportunity, the time, and disappointment. Talk about it. So we will be preparing you for that visa interview to the best of our ability. In addition to all of this, if you are taking up our hybrid program, you will also be getting a program team assistance. So at Great Learning, we have program teams specifically for each program that we have gotten. How these teams help you? They reach out to you all on almost a daily basis, after each session, and they ask you, was everything clear for you? Do you need extra assistance? Do you need personal tutoring? Was any concept not very clear for you? Do you need help with respect to your assignments or your projects? It's not like that we ask you to immediately dive into the the problem scenario which is offered, which is given to you from the University of Arizona. We help you understand that in detail before you get started with your assignment or your project. We arrange for doubt clearing sessions. We arrange for industry mentor sessions. All of this we do in the process for you, so that your first year is as seamless as possible. You build a very solid foundation for yourself before you move to the university campus for your second year. And after that, you can just sail through, because you have created this this foundation for yourself. I saw a question where someone has asked that, data science is more of a practical learning. How are you going to manage it in an online format for the first year? So the answer to that is Great Learning has been delivering programs in the domain of data science, artificial intelligence, machine learning for quite some time, for over a decade right now. And we have a learning management system. We have a system in place which takes care of your practical learning very much. And the way this curriculum is also designed by University of Arizona is also very practical and hands-on in nature, like we were talking about. So almost every course is associated with a lot of assignments and projects and capstone project and a lot more things. And all this will be furnished using the learning management system that we have developed at Great Learning. So do not worry about that. If you want feedback, we can help you get in touch with one of our learners who's already undergoing this program, and they will be able to share with you how they are able to complete all their projects in a practical manner. These are our contact details in case any one of you are looking for either hybrid or a full-time program at University of Arizona. Please reach out to us. Applications are open for hybrid upcoming intake, which is going to be July, August, right? And like I said, we can help you with the other programs at University of Arizona also. So reach out to us on this number, and we shall be able to help you with all the details, application process, and everything that you would need. Now, quickly, I'm going to go to the questionnaire because we are reaching the closing time. Recording, yes, the recording will be shared with you guys. Do not worry about it. Okay, I have a few questions around the eligibility criteria for hybrid programs specifically. Let me tell you, the eligibility criteria is very simple. It's about 120 credit points that you need to have from your undergrad or from your combination of undergrad and masters if you have already done a master's. So under 120 credit points is all we look for. In case if you are not sure whether you have 120 credit points or not, do not worry, just reach out to our counselors, share your transcripts with them, and they will be able to tell you whether you are eligible for the program or not. In addition to 120 credit points, what University of Arizona looks for is a CGPA of 3/4, which translates to somewhere around 65 to 70%. All right. In case you have something lower than that or much lower than that, we have a solution for you as well. So like I said, only if you will reach out to us, we will be able to, give you all those solutions as per your scores and your aspirations. Okay, yeah, people are asking if they can start this summer. Yes, very much. Like I said, in the first year, if you're going for hybrid format, you don't have to immediately apply for any visa, right? You apply for your visa in parallel to your learning process. So you just have to finish your application process right now, get the offer letter from the university, work on your financials, and you will get time and guidance for all of this. If you need education loan, you can work with Gyanthan to get the education loan. All of this is done. You get started with your badge. We immediately get started working on your I-20. You can immediately apply for your visa slot as soon as you can get one. These days, there is a rule from federal government that, you can apply for your visa 365 days before your date of arrival on the campus. So you will be doing all of this parallelly without wasting any of your, moments. So that is one great thing. Then there is a question around what happens if our visa gets rejected. I have a very elaborated answer over there. So first of all, you need to understand how you are evaluated in a visa interview. Basically, you will be evaluated on 2 to 3 factors. One is obviously your academic eligibility. Now, let me talk to you about hybrid program. In this program, you would have already gotten your offer letter from the university, top university, again, before you go for your visa interview. So that somewhere proves your academic eligibility. Second thing, you would have already done a few courses in the program before you are appearing for the interview, and you would have been performing in those courses that you have already done. So that also somewhere proves your academic eligibility. in the program, that once you go to US also, you will be able to very much finish the program. And remember, I talked about creating a solid foundation in the first year with Great Learning's help. So that is anyway happening. So you are thorough with the academic eligibility. Talking about financials eligibility, we get your I-20 only once your financials are in place. And like I said, we help you get your financials in order with Gyanthan's help as well. So that question is also resolved. Third is about your intent to go to US. So generally, many students, they use education as a gateway, as an entry point in US. And after going to US, they sometimes switch their university from a good university to a cheaper university. They go absconding, all of that. Now, in hybrid format, all that risk is minimized because you would have already started with your learning. So you definitely appear more like a serious student who's going to US to rather finish his education and not begin his education, right? After finishing almost 1 year into the program, you are obviously not going to change. So the trust that the interviewer is going to have on you is definitely more than not knowing anything about you when you go for a full-time degree program to any random university. So this is the logic behind the visa. And in addition to all of this, we prepare you for these visa interviews. So please keep that in time also. That also minimizes the risk that you would have. Okay, we already talked about scholarships. If you are making the first year payment in a lump sum manner, you get $1,000 scholarship. In addition to that, when you are getting the offer letter from the University of Arizona, there is a link called Scholarships Universe. We will, if you reach out to us, we will be sharing that link with you, and you will be able to explore more scholarships from the university's end based on your merit, based on your eligibility, and you might get more scholarships for the second year as well, in addition to the first year. And overall, the fee, like we talked about, hybrid fee is anyway 50% of what you would be paying for a full-time on-campus program. There is a question, Aman, for you. Can commercial property asset be considered for loan, a secured loan? Is Aman there? Aman, are you there? Okay, so looks like Aman has left. But yeah, we will get this question answered for you. Soham, please reach out to us on the number and we'll put you in touch with Gyanthan. Applications for the program, like I mentioned, they are open, but we advise you to apply as soon as possible because there is a time, there is a timeline involved over here. University does take about 3 to 4 weeks in order to get back to your application. So the faster you apply, the faster you can get started working on your financial factors and plan your life according to the program that you are getting into. Okay. People are asking us that they are having 15 years or 14 years of experience in the IT industry, if this program is relevant for you. Of course, it's very much relevant for you. First of all, it gives you exposure to work in the US, to study and work in the US with all these top companies. It makes you study a very, very industry relevant curriculum, which further enhances your career opportunities anywhere in the world for that matter. Machine learning is such a niche domain today, and there are so few skilled professionals in the world, and the opportunities are many. So you could be one of the people who's making use of this opportunity right now and leapfrogging in your career. Absolutely. And if you had the dream of moving to US or working in the US, this could be an opportunity for you for totally. We just closed our March cohort, and we have quite a few students who are about 10 or 15 years of experience, and we have freshers as well. So the way the entire cohort shapes up, I must tell you, there's a lot for mutual learning, people coming from different walks of life, different domains, because machine learning and artificial intelligence and data science is so relevant in multiple domains today. You all get to learn so much from each other. There are people who are coming from sustainability background. There are people who are coming from finance background. There are people who are coming from IT background. So there's gonna be a lot for one to overall enrich from this journey. If you are in your final year engineering right now, you can very well apply for this program. You can reach out to our counselors. We can help you apply with the transcripts that you currently have. And then once you finish your degree program, you will be given extra time once even the batch starts to furnish your official degree and your official transcripts to the university. But right now you can apply if that is the question. Placements, we already talked about career assistance from University of Arizona in much detail. There is a question, if I'm not traveling to US for the second year, what will be the fee for the second year? Mr. Gudem Saspik, if you don't want to travel to US at all, you can pursue this entire program in a completely online format. And the total fees for the complete online format is just 10,500. So if you have done already the first year by paying 10,500, you are practically paying nothing in the second year. Okay, you would already be done with your entire fee for the program. There is a question, which exams do I need to give in order to apply for this university? It depends upon which program you are applying for. If you're talking about Masters in Information Science with a focus on machine learning, hybrid degree format, you do not need to apply for any exams. We will help you with the admission process. All you need is transcripts, SOP, LOR, CV. That's about it. And you shall be able to apply. If you want to apply for some other program under some other school, you may need to write a few exams over there. Depends upon your aspiration. So again, reach out to us. We'll be able to help you. Is there any intake after spring 2024? There's going to be a fall 2024. If you have a few backlogs, if you have cleared those backlogs, it may not affect your candidature. Like I mentioned, all we are looking for 120 credit points and the CGPA that I mentioned. So again, please reach out to us with your transcripts and we will be able to tell you in detail if you're eligible or not. There are some people who are asking for programs like business analytics and MBA programs. We do have those programs as well. Again, reach out to us and we will be able to guide you accordingly for business analytics masters or MBA program or even finance program. We have got that as well. You don't have to apply again after finishing your first year online, by the way. I'm getting few questions whether they're asking how will I apply after finishing the online component. No, you only apply once and you apply to University of Arizona in the beginning itself. The offer letter that you're going to get in the beginning is for both the years, first year online and second year on campus. So there is no 2 times admission process, just once. Okay. I'm getting a lot of questions on the total cost for hybrid. I guess we already mentioned that the total cost for hybrid tuition fees is 34,000, and there's going to be 1 year of living expenses, which is approximated at 18,000 US dollars. Okay. Anything else? All right. There is a multitude of questions, but we are over time right now. So I would advise you all to write to us. My colleague Ankit has already shared our contact details. Ankit, do you mind sharing it once again in the chat box? That has our phone number, our email ID. Please reach out to us over email. We are pretty quick in responding back, and we will make sure that all your queries are getting answered. If you are in a hurry, you reach out to us on call and your call will be returned pretty soon. Thank you so much, all of you. Thank you to all the speakers that we have had today, Aditya and Aman. Thank you, Ankit, for helping us in the chat box. And you all have a great evening. I hope this session was worth your while and you would be able to pursue your dreams with these new formats that we just talked about and Great Learnings and Ganthan's help. All the best to all of you. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.